While working on one project, I'll often get an idea for another one. Usually these will fill a need that comes up during the original build, like a handy jig or a tool or something else that will help in the construction, but would also be an interesting project on its own. But that's not really what happened in this instance, since the ideas were in no way related. I was looking through my drill bits for one that was the right size for a hole that I needed in a part, and it occurred to me that it would be interesting to take an old, worn-out drill bit and use that to make a carving knife. I finished up the project that I was working on and got to work on this one. The first thing I did was to find the right piece of wood for the handle and cut it to rough size. The wood is sumac, and up until a year before this, it was a tree that was growing in my backyard. I cut it down, and rather than burning it, I cut the larger pieces into some small pieces of lumber using my bandsaw. The drill bit was an old one that I'd had for years. I had sharpened it many times, but eventually the side edges wear out and get rounded, and it can no longer cut properly. I figured I could grind and shape the blade from the shank, and the rest of the bit could be left as it is and glued into the handle. Of course, the shank on a drill bit is not hardened to the same degree as the tip, and I didn't bother keeping it from getting too hot with the grinder because I would be heat treating this blade myself. Heat treating is the process of hardening high carbon steel by heating and rapidly cooling it. After that, it needs to be tempered to make the blade less brittle, and this is done by heating it to a lower temperature, usually around 400 degrees. With that out of the way, the blade can be cleaned and polished, although I'm just going for a matte finish on this. There are a few different types of glue that will permanently hold the bit in the handle, epoxy for example. Another one is polyurethane construction adhesive, and that's what I'm using here. Whatever glue that's used should be given a day to fully cure before moving on to the finishing. To protect and bring out the rich color and grain of the sumac, I'm using linseed oil, giving it several coats.